Now, guys, I have found a video here that has literally verified all what was said in my video of new species found. Scientists will unveil a living creature whose entire DNA was rewritten by humans. I'll just make this a quick video. Scientists working on the SC 2.0 project, which is about yeast, basically creating different types of yeast that do different types of things, more resistant, tastier, more far. The amino acids in it, they've tweaked it. Scientists working on the SC 2.0 project have announced that in the space of a couple of years they will have successfully created the first entirely synthetic organisms whose DNA was completely programmed by humans. The first completely synthetic organism will be a yeast cell with biological capabilities that do not exist in nature, which is just absolutely freaky, crazy. Even why are they doing it? If it does not exist in nature, why are they doing it? It's because they can. There have been researching projects which have developed very small-scale synthetic organisms in the past, but these projects are focused on simple bacteria genomes. Sarah Richardson, a synthetic biologist who has been working on the SC 2.0 project, explains that these synthetic bacteria tend to have around 4 million base pairs of DNA. Yeast is a far more complicated organism which has around 12 million base pairs of DNA. Now, this, for me, backs up as well about CERN. Now, they're saying that at CERN, they're unlocking different particles to see how basically how everything started, the universe, how everything got its first start to being what it is now. Now, these scientists have made a completely new organism that basically has got a new, never existed before in nature. So they're actually creating a new entity. So with CERN, for me, connecting the dots, it's well, at CERN, they're creating new entities, bringing new entities in. They've already got the science, they've already got the particle accelerator, they've been looking at new different particles for a long time. There's loads of CERNs, there's loads of colliders. I had it's mind blowing. This is why I'm stuttering, because there's that much information in my head going round. It's like, where do I start connecting the dots? And this backs it up for me that the scientists at CERN are creating new entities from nothing. Therefore, just like the ULO, the unidentified laying objects that they found recently in a sealed vacuum tube, after they had smashed particles and opened another dimension. Therefore, they have pulled through, because let's not forget, this was a sealed vacuum chamber. So there's only one place that they could have got it from, and that is the experiment that they did when opening up another dimension. So they're not content with using what already exists on this planet for making, as a base genome, if you will, for making an entirely new entity that has never existed on this planet, i.e. the yeast, the yeast, and now they're bringing in new entities from a different dimension. And I believe, yeah, they had to use a vacuum, but that's only because it's a safe, secure environment. Because if they bring something through that is, on first inspection, evil. They've got it trapped. They have to trap it anyways, because that's how it works, and it has to be a vacuum. But so it makes you wonder, when planning to build the Large Hadron Collider, they have put everything in place as a prison, a dimensional prison, or a triage, or a first inspection platform. And if they agree with it or don't agree with it, they can just create a massive electrical vault and just zap this entity. But I like the way that they explained it. The lead scientist, I forget his name off the top of my head, I do know it, but he said it's nothing that we should be worried about, even though he said it's unidentified. How can he say that? How? That I'll tell you how he can say that, because he has got information that we don't know about. That's how he can say that we have got nothing to worry about, because he's got more information that he's not telling us about. Therefore, if it was a entity that he's not to worry about, he would tell us exactly what it is, what it does, where it came from. But because he's holding that, withholding that information as well, it leads me to believe that they brought through a demonic entity and they've got it trapped. That's the part of the disclosure. They tell you with one hand, but in the other hand, they're actually saying, look into my eyes. You will believe what I tell you. What they say, it's saying they know what they say is going to be dissected by people around the world. Just exactly like during the presidential election with Trump, they had experts in on body language, on everything to do with the social, personal, the interaction of people. They had experts analysing it and saying, because it's breaking records left, right, and centre, creating entities that never existed on this planet, left, right, and centre, they forget that everything they say is going to be analysed, because what they're doing is scary. They're recreating black holes that could literally swallow up the Earth, your Earth. You see that house you're in now? That would be gone if they lose control. If there's two bad things that can really happen. If they lose control, we're gone. The Earth is gone. The moon will be lonely. It'll probably swallow that as well. You know the effects, as it gets bigger, the black hole. And then the other effect is that they're bringing demonic entities into the world. Which one do we choose from? It's the lesser of two evils, the demonic entity. Or some people would rather say that I'd rather not even live in a world where they're bringing in demonic entities. It seems to me in this world that if you're not born of a generation that is at war with another country, then when you're in peacetime, the scientists take over and put you through another kind of hell. Because one thing a human being cannot help is but take information in. And when you're having scientists playing around with your very existence, your very being, your soul, then this comes into a whole new category of fear, courage and fear and bravery. Three totally separate things. Brave means you was not scared in the first place. Courage means you were scared, but you plucked up the courage to do it that's the difference. And this is the two types of people that need to challenge the scientists at CERN, are the brave people and the courageous people of the world. Because most scientists are just, for me, the information I'm getting in is that they're just burying the head and it's like they're the untouchables. And when people are laughing and saying, oh, the guy who did this video is a retard, because he's saying that these new species, you see, it's a vindication. You know, they say, oh, they're not making new species, and these have been around for years, and you're a retard, or you're an idiot, or other nasty comments. I had to go through nasty comments every day, hundreds, and it's terrible. And but this is a kind of sweet vindication because yeah, they are creating new entities, new animals, new bacterias, and they've been doing it a long time. People forget about Dolly the sheep and the cows that they cloned, and the monkeys. And when the project is concluded in the next couple of years, it will certainly be a huge step forward for bioengineering and may spark a revolution in a variety of different industries. Once it is definitively proven that scientists can engineer specifically designed organisms, wow, then other teams could follow suit and design new organisms for various reasons. Yeah, like satanic rituals. It is believed that genetically designed organisms could be useful in the fields of scientific research, industry, and even human medicine. And nobody's mentioning the spiritual side because a mass amount of people on this planet are very spiritual. This just is addressing the physical world. What about the spiritual world? This stuff should not be happening. This is a science fiction movie. That's exactly where that should be, not in the real world. Anyways, I may have gone on a little bit too much there, or you may have switched off a long time ago. But I've got out what I needed to say about the science is creating new species, and there's the proof. They're doing it, and they've been doing it for a long time. Next time you feel the need to comment and say that they can't do clone or things, I just remember Dolly the Sheep was the first one a very, very long time ago. Anyways, as always, you decide what's right or wrong. If it's wrong, tell me this is wrong. If I'm right, tell me I'm right. If I've waffled on, tell me I've waffled on. But I have really got out what I needed to say, and I am happy that I got out what I needed to say. Regardless, there'll be people who say oh, retard and all things like that. Well, I don't care. Simply because they're just nasty comments, and I don't like, especially seeing somebody put a good comment and somebody to berate them and just belittle them on a live platform like YouTube. It's disgusting. Please stop. If you feel the need to do it, go somewhere else, please.